All right. On this state of mind today, Sunday, if you like what you see, you know, just hit the subscribe button right here. Um, I have today someone who, and I'm not just saying this because I'm going to be talking to her. I'm a fan of hers because she can act, and I'm not joking. She's, I just, and I'm going to, I'll tell you, I'll talk a little bit about this later about how during the Emmys that I saw something, and the reason I like her acting is because she's just like real and subtle and deep in the whole situation. So she was Kristen Demera. With names, I'm just the worst. Uh, right? On Susan Banks on Days of Our Lives, Ashley Abbott on The Young and the Restless. Yes. And Bold and Beautiful. She was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's amazing.
Yes, isn't it?
And there's a few other things. So, among other things, I just want to say that I'm really honored to have this person on State of Mind. I think you guys are going to be excited when I say her name. EILEEN Davidson. Oh my goodness gracious. How you doing?
I'm really, really, really good. And thank you so much. Such a incredible compliment coming from you. And I'm very moved. And saying my acting is real and subtle is so huge to me. So thank you.
Well, that's my favorite kind, right? But where are you from?
I am from La Mirada, California.
Oh, really?
A little anticlimactic, right? Yeah. So I was raised in the suburbs.
Oh, okay. How was that?
You know, youngest of 7 children.
Oh, yeah, 7 children. How was that?
Right.
What's it like being in a family of 7?
My house was very loud. There was either a lot of laughing or a lot of screaming, not a lot of in between.
What about fighting?
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean,
Yeah,
door
yeah.
slamming and fighting and hair pulling. And I mean, I don't want to start this off with this, but literally when I was 11, I think my sister, who was 7 years older, she and I were fighting, and she ran outside and she bit me, whatever. And she ran back in the house and locked the door and then did a pig nose on the pane glass window. There's like 6 panes. And it was Father's Day. I literally took my fist and I just went boom.
No.
Right through. And I had to go to the emergency room. And my sister, the first thing she says is, "Don't tell Dad, don't tell Dad." So my other sisters, who were in the early 20s, gather me up and take me to the emergency room to get stitches. One of them passes out.
Are you serious?
My dad never found out.
Anyway.
Anyway.
My girl, I had a girl, I've told this story before, but I had a girlfriend, my first love, actually. I was 14, she was 16. She had 3 brothers, and they would fight to the point of scratch blood down the face.
Oh, yeah.
Punching in the stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, girl.
Yeah. My oldest brother, who was 14 years older than me, one of my sisters was going on a date. They were in a fight, so she locked herself in the bathroom. She was all made up to go on this date. He got a screwdriver, and he opened the door that was locked from the outside with the screwdriver, so the doorknob fell off.
Are you?
Can you imagine how terrifying?
Damn.
He goes in, drags her out, and throws her in the pool right before her. I mean, it was ugly.
But
very funny people, though.
yeah, and you fight like that, but then it's love. But it doesn't seem like love to be.
Yeah, it really doesn't seem like love. So I want to ask you a couple questions.
Yes.
I'm very fascinated.
What?
Because I believe that real men go to therapy.
Oh.
And I've always been a real advocate for talking about it and getting it out in the open and no shame and we shine the light on it. So what made you start this? What part of your process?
It started, that's an interesting question. It started one night I had anxiety, and, people know of me from, bipolar and the whole thing. And one night I had anxiety and I wanted to film it. And as I filmed myself with anxiety, on TV was Steve Harvey saying, I can't believe all these people with social media filming themselves, dude.
Wow.
I'm not joking. And I laughed, but, you know, I was like, here I was, not watching him. So next morning, I said to my editor at the time, I said, listen, this is what happened. And she goes, why don't you just film yourself talking about mental health? I said, who cares? Who's going to want to? She goes, just do it. Just film something. Filmed it. And we'll put it up do it on Instagram story. So I put it on Instagram story, got a good response. And she goes, put it up every Sunday. And I said, nobody watches on Sunday. And who's going to watch me for 8 minutes talking about myself? But I did it. And then I got my book. And I was promoting the book with State of Mind on Instagram story in the car for a year. And then the pandemic hit. And I kept doing it. But it was horrific what I went through as I was promoting the book, as I was doing State of Mind. Got through it. And then somebody suggested YouTube. And I did YouTube. And once I started interviewing people, they didn't want me talking to myself anymore. They just love this. And that's how it started. Because, look, I believe that it's very important, like you said, for men to open up, to cry, to reveal themselves. And the main reason I started this 30 years ago, when I was on Oprah and whatnot, was because I didn't want anybody to have to go through the pain that I went through. That was the beginning of how I wanted. And now with this, people know they're not alone.
People are coming out of the woodwork to talk to you.
Yes, yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Whether they have mental health issues.
No, it doesn't matter.
Everybody knows somebody who
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional thinking about it because that's why I was drawn to it. I just think it's such a great thing that you're doing. So can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
Has that helped you deal with your own
You're
issues?
going to start making me cry now.
Well, I would think that it's got to be interesting being transparent and being accepted.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny? I did this thing in Graceland with actors, State of Mind in Graceland. And my wife surprised me with my psychiatrist who diagnosed me with bipolar, manic depressive back then, over 30 years ago. I didn't know he was going to be there. And when he came on the stage, I was bawling because I hadn't seen him in, I think it was 37 years. And he said to me at his house afterwards, because we were talking all night, and we're at the same level now. You know, before he was here, I was here because I was all messed up, right? And he's the psychiatrist. And he said to me, you know, State of Mind is your therapy. And I said, I don't know. He goes, no, it's your therapy. I watch it every week. And it's just, and you know what, Eileen? In the last 2 years, I've been perfect.
Wow.
Perfect. Nothing. Everything's good. So it has to be. Because I don't encourage this, but I'm not going to therapy. So, yeah. So I would say that it's been fantastic for me, but I think it's good for the people on the other side too.
Well, don't you think that, I mean, again, it's coming from my own personal background, that shame is something that just makes everything worse, kind of has a compounding effect where it just kind of exaggerates whatever you're feeling, whatever that is.
Yep.
And that not having shame but having an issue is much different than having shame and the issue.
Yeah. Shame, I think, goes hand in hand with caring what people think, right?
Right.
And let me tell you another thing.
And mental health issues are a stigma.
Yes.
So not having that stigma means you're clearer to deal with what that shit is.
Exactly. Where do you stand on that? Because I've been talking about this now for the last 2 months, but I'm figuring out that not caring what people think and mental illness go hand in hand. And if I don't know where you stand on it, I've cared always way too much,
Yeah.
and it compounds everything. You do?
Oh, yeah. I was raised very Catholic.
Yes.
So much shame. And interestingly enough, you talk about the
Yes.
housewives. It's so funny to me because when I was on that show, the executive producer, because I was in therapy, I had a sister and a niece die shortly before I took that job. And that was one of the reasons why I did it. I was like, you know what? You only live once. I'm just going to do something completely out of the box. It scares the crap out of me. Anyway, in doing that show, I was in therapy and different things would come up. And he goes, you know, I'm noticing you, because he would watch me on camera. He goes, you have so much shame about everything.
Wow.
And I was like, it was embarrassing to me that I even had the shame. I was like, oh, I don't know what you mean. I was very uncomfortable with that, but obviously it makes me think about it.
Yeah.
And I realized, because I'm still dealing with that, wondering where all that shame comes from. And I certainly know, but now I really understand the impact it's had on my life. And I'm dealing with shame on a daily basis, because it's like just being alive, you're ashamed. I'm ashamed for taking up space. You know, I'm ashamed of this. And it's so interesting because my father was manic depressive back in those days. Wasn't diagnosed, but his behavior was pretty bizarre. And there was so much shame attached to that.
He didn't talk about it.
Well, it was hard to miss it.
Yeah.
My father he would go in his room and not talk to me. I was 8 years old at the time, for like 6 months. He would
Damn.
Yeah, it was hardcore. He'd literally walk by me, come in the door, and walk by like I wasn't even there. At that point, he was arguing with my mother, and I kind of got, pushed into that category of somebody he didn't want to deal with. And then all of a sudden his door would be open, and that period was over, and everything was supposed to be normal again. So there's a lot of shame attached to the fighting that was going on in the house, and the neighbors heard it, and kids coming over and realizing that my home wasn't normal. You know what I mean?
Yes,
all that kind of stuff that so many of us deal with. But part of the reason why I wanted to talk to you is because I've learned so much. My father, we didn't know back then. It was the 60s. My mom would say things like, your dad, he fell off a horse when he was a kid, so maybe that's what's wrong with him. And he'd have high highs where all of a sudden he'd want to take us all on vacation.
Yeah.
And he'd have me go down to downtown LA and buy diamond earrings for all the girls in the family. And leather coats for all the guys. And then he'd hide again. Wow. And so it was just... And my mother...
And the hiding was the depression, right? Yeah.
My mother, God bless her, was an incest survivor. So these are my parents. By the way, my mother didn't tell anybody until I was in my 20s. She never told my father. Wow. So you got these two people that were so, fragile, so scarred.
Yeah.
And they're raising 7 children.
Damn.
And I used to pray that my father would die. It's the truth. I would just, because there was so much chaos in the house, and it was just, when he came in, we were other people. When he was gone, we felt more relaxed when he came home. But through realizing and growing up and looking back on it, I see what a hero my father was. I'm going to get so emotional. And my mother, because they didn't have anywhere to go. They only had their home.
Yeah.
And they weren't like big drinkers, or they didn't abuse that kind of stuff. So I realized that they're dealing with this stuff, which is so huge and traumatic, was heroic.
Wow.
And I have so much respect for them and this dog. I love the fact that they were able to raise the kids, and 7 of us, and worked many, many hours a day trying to support a family of 7.
But they couldn't go to therapy?
My father was a hero dealing with this and trying to support his children and make them a good home, and putting in a basketball court and putting in a volleyball court. He worked his ass off, 14-hour days to he died when I was 22, but he really tried.
What did he die of?
He had a heart attack. And anyway, listen, I could go on.
I don't know. But let me tell you something, but dying for him, can you imagine? And I don't want to get, Can you imagine how much suffering he did
Yeah.
without help?
He loved us.
Son of a, that's
And
tough.
he was trapped.
Yeah. Trapped in his own mind too, right?
Yeah. Where does a man in the 1960s go that was raised on a farm in Ohio, who was self-made, where he made airplane parts for Boeing and Lockheed, started his own business, at one point left them, and just had a huge work ethic, which I inherited. And I learned a lot of great fundamentals, but the point is he didn't have anywhere to turn. He loved us so dearly, and it would show in many ways, but it's like he couldn't help it. I mean, I'm sure you understand. I used to say something, as I've understood this more, the only good thing, and I don't mean to, I hope this isn't offensive to you,
Nothing's
about
offensive.
being in a family with somebody who's bipolar is you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I was growing older and you have a boyfriend saying you're crazy and I would be freaking out,
Yeah.
maybe I've got what happened to my dad. Then you realize the difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it made me appreciate what he was going through and what my mother went through being married to him.
Yeah. Let me
You
give
know?
you a little of that.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You brought that up. During the pandemic, I went. I mean, I know I've talked about it to a lot of people, but there's some people that's watching this for the first time. I went through hell, right? Anxiety, and at a high level. I always say it to everybody. You always want to stay in first, second gear. You can go to third. Try not to go to fourth, and don't go to fifth, sixth, seventh. Because I was in like seven. Okay, at the end, close to not being here.
What does that mean? Like, I don't, like, what is first, second, third?
First, second gear is just being calm, being like normal people.
Right.
And then you get a little crazy. The third gear, you could. But you go to fourth, you better figure it out. Because what happened with me was I waited too long. It was during the pandemic. It was even hard for me to get help. But I waited too long. And then by the time I got help, I was in sixth, seventh gear, which meant looking at a tree, thinking of a rope,
Wow.
that type of thing. So, back to what you said, the reason I know I got close to that was usually when you have thoughts of doing yourself in, you think about your family and that stops you or whatever. Well, I felt that I was being a burden to my family. So that's when you know, because I felt like I was doing them a favor.
Yeah.
Because Paula, my wife, as you know, she's always been there for me through all except for the first breakdown, but through everything. And she's always been, always strong. But this time was the 4 months, man. It didn't end. And I remember going into the room. I just told somebody this yesterday. And I saw in her eyes like, and it makes, not that she's wrong, because she was, 4 months of me going in the room crying.
Yeah.
I can't make it.
She's a human being.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you're right. The people around you, it hurts them a lot also. But as we know, like she says to me, you're stronger than you know. And we get through this. And I have, every time I've said to her, I can't do it. I can't go another day. 100% I've done it.
Yeah.
So, wow. Let's sit on that for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Eileen, what do
Heroic. It's heroic. It's heroic. It's heroic. And understanding that I have so much love for my father.
Yeah.
And it sounds crazy, but I have a better relationship with him now than I ever did when he was alive.
That's interesting.
And I feel it very deeply. I mean, we're going off topic here, but
No,
this is
there's
kind of
no
interesting.
topic.
Okay, well, what's his name? Oh, God bless me. He's a psychic medium. John Edwards. I did his show several years ago. And out of the blue, he said, your father's here. And he's sad that you never talked to him. And he's bringing you roses, and he's so sorry for what happened to you when you were a child. And he wants to know why you never talk to your son about his grandfather. And he goes, he really wants to be a part of your life. He wants you to be able to talk to him the way you talk to your mother. Wow. Crazy?
Now, that's crazy because last night, I was telling Paul we were watching that kid, the Hollywood
Right.
kid,
I know who you mean.
on Netflix. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And here we're talking about that,
Yeah.
right? Because I told her Howard Stern doesn't believe in these psychics and stuff. And I said to her, I wish that he would talk to this kid about his father who just died. And maybe he would change his mind.
Yeah.
Because I believe it.
Yeah.
Because
well, it's really only logical to me, but that's just where I come from. I come from that place of it seems like energy never dies, so where does it go?
Exactly. But plus, they say things that nobody knows.
Exactly. I mean, I've had so many of those interesting. Anyway, I ended up putting a photo of my father in my son's room, and I ended up incorporating him way more into my life. And through doing this, I came to many wonderful realizations that only helped me as a person find peace, you know.
Yeah. And where are you at now in yourself? You at peace?
Oh, I'm in a really good place.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, certainly life is not perfect, or will it ever be. But I mean, I've been meditating for, well, I think I got trained in transcendental meditation when I was 30.
Right.
And I was into self-realization fellowship. I was basically on a quest. I studied a lot of different spiritual practices and religions and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's been like this. And a lot of self-help books. That was me and Barnes & Noble.
Eckhart Tolle?
Huh?
Eckhart Tolle?
Oh, yes. I just saw him at the shrine a
You
couple
did?
months ago. I did. Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan.
Big fan.
Big fan. He's like...
You know, the beauty of books like his or any books like that is if you could read it once and then you read it a couple years later and you understand
it's a Bible,
it,
really.
you keep understanding it more.
Yeah, it's a Bible. Literally, I'd like to sleep with those kind of books under my pillow. I feel like I'm somehow absorbing the information on a cellular level. But yeah, so I've always been on a quest since I was very young, probably because of the way I was raised. You know, read a lot of books on incest survivors. What's it like to be raised with somebody who's a child of an incest survivor? I see the world the way through the eyes of my mother, who was a victim.
Yeah.
So what is it about me has taken that on? You know, so I would just question things and look for things, and I find I'm much gentler on myself, and I find that the journey is pretty fantastic.
It is
learning and the fact that it never ends, you know.
Yeah, it's fantastic when you in here, you know, it's hard to get to it being fantastic. Like for me, the last 2 years have been fantastic because for the first time ever, I'm at peace inside. For 58 years, I never felt, I didn't know what that was. It was always dark and ugly in here. A lot of rage, right? But when that's gone,
yeah. Well, I also lost a lot of people when I was on The Housewives. It was crazy. It was the weirdest thing. I'm on television.
They're on you 24 hours?
No.
Oh.
But I lost my sister, my niece. During those 3 years that I was on, right before I went on, I lost a sister, a niece, a brother, my mother, a nephew.
No.
Yes. My father-in-law, my husband's cousin who was like a brother, his uncle, 3 or 4 of our closest friends, like close friends. It was really intense, and it was just like, it got to the point, honestly, I would not tell people anymore when people passed. I had a job to do at work, and if everybody was trying to, you know, make me feel better, I couldn't concentrate. Sometimes I have to run off set. I would have to tell them, you have to cut this. I don't have the concentration to say this speech. So could you give it to her? So then I got to the point where I didn't tell people because I had to compartmentalize, and it was easier for me to just go to work, not think about it, and then feel it when I got home or I got in the car. But anyway, it's the weirdest thing of all. The reason I'm saying this is coming out of that in a weird way brings you joy.
I know.
Because you kind of appreciate how beautiful it all is.
Yes.
And you, like you said, you come above it.
Yeah.
You overcome it. You come out the other side, like you said. You're here.
But some people don't.
I know.
And they take the wrong road.
know.
And their life's even worse.
you question that, and then when you choose that way, yes.
Right.
But everybody's journey is their own.
Yes, I understand,
You know?
but don't you think the people who have passed away, because my dad just passed away about a little over a year ago, that's what they want for you. That's what they want you to feel joy. They want. That's the way I think my dad.
Definitely, sure.
You know, people who grieve too long, or they're, oh, poor me, Vic.
Yeah.
That's not what they would want. You got to figure it out and get through that.
It's a daily process, isn't
It
it?
is.
I mean, one of my sisters died in my arms. She was an interesting one. Oh my God! Listen, my family, there's something else. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was going to get surgery, and then she decided she never liked doctors; they terrified her. So then she decided to heal it homeopathically. And anybody who wants to choose that road, I am not sitting in judgment of you.
Yeah.
But her daughter was my nanny at the time, and is my writing partner. She's almost like my daughter. Was living with us, and her mom chose to go all over the world and try clinics. Anyway, it ended up she wouldn't let us talk to her. She said, if you want a relationship with me, you can't mention that I have cancer. We're like, okay. So it was just very like a mind, you know, like crazy. So finally, by the time she decided to get surgery, it was too late. She did lie to us, though. Listen to this. She lied. She had the doctor lie and say, the doctor told me to my face, your sister has at least 10 more years. So I went with my sister. I'm like, I'm talking to the doctor. She doesn't look good. No, she has 10 years. I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's having a panic attack. We didn't know. We didn't know what was happening. What? So, and anyway, I get a call. I have to go to work. I'm supposed to go to work. I just called. She was in the hospital. I didn't know why. I call, and the nurse, 6 o'clock in the morning, nurse says, if you want to see your sister, you better come up here now. She was 3.5 hours away. So I called YNR. I said, I can't. I said, my niece, come get in the car. We're going up to see your mom. We ended up sitting, she was in a coma. We ended up and sat with her all day long, and at 2 o'clock, it took off life support. Another miracle. My niece, who at the time was only 26, was the one who had to say, you could take her off life support. And there was a minister there, and she was crying. She goes, I don't want that decision. My sister had been in a coma for about 12 hours at this point. She goes, I can't do it. I don't want that responsibility. At that moment, my sister sat up in bed. Started shaking her head.
No.
Yes, it's trying to get the mask off, trying to get the oxygen off.
Wow.
And would not stop until the doctors took the mask off. And then went back. Never made another peep. And she passed away about 10 hours later. She took it out of my niece's hand.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I've seen some shit. I probably should have started with that. Anyway, it was a miracle. It was like a crazy, crazy thing. But you get to when you deal with this kind of stuff and you realize it's a part of life and you move through it and you have your bad days and you have your good days, and people like you who are focusing on bringing a light on stuff, giving people hope, it makes other people more willing to reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's beautiful about it. It's not just that you're doing this, you're creating a domino effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is very moving to me.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Damn.
What else you want to talk about? God.
I told you, this is
my
like just us having lunch.
I know, right?
Your husband?
Yeah.
You guys seem cool.
20 years.
Damn.
Next Saturday.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's a good guy. He knows what it's all about.
You guys seem good together.
Oh yeah.
Because I looked at a lot of stuff.
Oh.
And I could tell from just the interaction.
He's a good guy. He's got a great family.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been through it, you know.
Let's talk soap operas, because I think we.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to tell you what happened once.
Oh.
It's not a big deal, but it was a while ago. I was voting for the Emmys.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have, great actresses on my show, and, I love them. And I had to look at 5 or 6, and you were one of them. And I thought, holy shit, It looks because look, we have to understand something about the Emmys. It doesn't necessarily mean you're the best actress. It means you have the best tape.
Right.
Well, for me, you had the best tape
Right.
because you're all great,
Right.
and you won.
Oh, is this the one when Young and Restless?
Yes.
That's really, I had no idea. Did you see my face? I never
No.
expected to win. I thought everybody else had these giant major scenes with fires and explosions and drama, and mine was just about my mother having Alzheimer's. I never thought in a million years I was going to win. I thought their stuff was much more dramatic. It was shocking. I was very grateful for that because the work was really pretty simple.
Yeah, that's probably why I was so into it. But you did win, and I said,
Thank you for that vote.
This was a.
Maybe that was the one that like pushed me over the
But
edge.
you could. I think the way it was, you can give ones to whoever. So obviously, I gave ones to my show, and then I picked you because I'm not a jerk. I'm gonna if I see that's. And you won for Alzheimer's. I've won for Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that storyline
Right.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
Let me see. I want to talk about something else because
Okay.
we can get. Oh, this is the greatest question.
Uh-oh. God.
Because you were a model. You were a model.
Yeah.
That's the way I was.
Yeah.
Because I was short,
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
and it was just terrible.
Yeah.
But modeling, because of modeling, failing as a model, I got into acting.
Yes, me as well.
Same thing.
Yep.
And
exactly.
then after I got into acting, I ended up in a mental institution.
Oh.
So
That did not happen to me. Although I was on The Housewives, so that's kind of close. I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean, I never acted as a child. I was too shy. So I was literally dancing barefoot in a club in Costa Mesa. I was cleaning houses. And I was cleaning office buildings and going to school at Orange Coast College. And then I started doing a little bit of modeling at fashion shows in Newport Beach and whatever. Oh, I know, I was at a bar. And I was dancing barefoot, and a photographer said, I want to take your picture. And he did. And then I started doing brochures and stuff. And then I started doing local stuff for Newport. I ended up, my girlfriend had moved to Hawaii. I took off when I was 19 to decide what I wanted to do. And I ended up, I was supposed to go for 2 weeks. I stayed for 2 months on the North Shore, no car, no phone, no TV, just a radio. We had to take the bus into Waikiki, which was an hour and a half away. I was there for so long that I ended up, I was writing a lot of poetry, and I was really writing and becoming, I was very much an earth surfer girl, big time. I ended up needing money, so I took a bus into Waikiki and got a modeling job with a brochure, Crazy Shirts, for like tourists, and I got enough money to get my airfare home. And I decided I'm going to move to LA and just give it a shot. Oh, this is interesting. One of my stepchildren is a writer, and we were talking. He has a podcast, and we were talking. It's Dare to Dream. And I had just been going through papers during the pandemic, and I found something that I wrote when I was 19 before I moved to LA, really quite crazy. It actually said, for the first time, I'm alone. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't live with my parents. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go to Hollywood and give it a shot. I've got a feeling.
Oh, that's cool.
What? I didn't know anybody there. I'd never acted a day of my life.
Really?
It was insane. And I started working a year later. But I was cleaning, I cleaned the bathrooms in the acting place I was at so I could pay for my classes. He would give me like a free class. And, I just started working right. He was a great guy, Dexter Freeman. He was amazing. He owned this acting studio. And he would call me in the morning if I was hungover. You want to be an actress? You get your ass in here. You just want to model for brochures your whole life? You want to be something? He really pushed me.
Yeah, you need that early on. Yeah.
God love him.
And then you got probably the biggest job, I think, anywhere, with the house on Sorority Row.
That's the biggest job anywhere? I have to say it was a great gig.
How was it? I want
amazing.
to tell me what it's a scary movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I was on with Kate McNeil, who was on As the World Turns after.
Yeah.
We all went on to do Harley Jane Kozak. She ended up doing a soap for a while, and then she went on to films. But I was 21, not quite 22, or maybe I was 22. And it was shot in Maryland. And it was out in the boonies in an old mansion. And it's a cult favorite.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. Just about,
Did you get
old,
killed?
creepy house. I did. I was the bad girl.
You got killed
Listen to
right
this.
away?
Talk about being, no, I was at the end. One of the best things for me I loved about this, I was so incredibly, I like to call it naive and not stupid, but because I really was very green, I told Kate, who was the protagonist, she's supposed to slap me in the scene. I just told her to really slap me.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So there's birds like tweeting, like about 10 minutes into it, after the 15th
That
take,
hurts.
I'm like,
oh, yeah.
oh my God. No, I went to the theater when it opened on Hollywood Boulevard on a Friday night. And I snuck in with a disguise, and the whole audience was jam-packed, and everybody cheered when I got killed because I was a real bitch.
Wow.
Epic.
And then after that, what happened?
I was on The Young and the Restless. I'd made the movie, and the movie came out
I
like a year
get
later,
you.
and I'd gotten The Young and the Restless and a
get
couple
you.
other things before.
And how do you feel about soap operas? How do you?
Gosh.
Is it bittersweet or is it
Yes.
just sweet?
It depends.
Okay.
Right now, I'm in a very good place. I'm incredibly grateful for where I'm at because I come and go. I left the show, I thought, 4 years ago. I was done. I didn't want to be making the drive. I live in Malibu. My son was in high school. I wanted to be really present. I've always been a very hands-on parent, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I've tried to be good at it all, but it's not easy. So I was just kind of done with the head space that it takes up, all the lines, the memorization. I was like, I want other information in my brain.
Yeah.
I need other stuff in there besides that. So I left. I figured they were going to recast it. I was happy to give them suggestions who I thought they should. I've done that before when I left in the 80s. And then they said, if I'm available, they'll work me. I was like, oh, I never even thought of that. So I have no contract.
Wow.
I have no guarantee. I have no contract. I have nothing. They just ask, are you willing to do this? Because it's the 50th, they asked me if I'd stay for this story with Trevor St. John, who's a terrific actor. I'm really enjoying working with him. And so we're having a lot of fun. They're letting us, we're kind of collaborating. They're writing super good stuff for us.
That's the coolest thing, no contract.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not bad.
There you
I know.
go.
I never would have, predicted it or anticipated it, and I'm completely grateful. And I'm totally aware it could go away at any moment. But it's good right now. And by the way, soap operas have been incredibly amazing.
Yeah.
I have nothing but gratitude and respect for the incredible actors that I get to work with.
Yes.
I have worked with some unbelievably talented people
Yeah.
who care so much about it and continue to.
Yeah.
And I think it's more other people's judgment of it and having to kind of push out that noise. But I get it a lot. You get it a lot. It was so interesting when I was doing The Housewives, Maurice, because soap opera people were judging me doing that. I was like, how interesting. There's judgment on top of judgment on top of judgment. Like there's a frickin' food chain.
Yeah.
And I think I even gave an interview. I said that people are going to judge me for something always. If it's not the way I look, it's getting older being a woman on television. There's always something. You just have to learn to just kind of do your thing.
I couldn't get arrested for 25 years trying to get another job from out of General Hospital. That's when my ego was out of control. So I wanted to do something else so I can show people, hey, I'm not just Sonny. I can do anything. And then the last 7 years, I've gotten like 7 or 8, movie with Mickey Rourke, this, that. Then I figured out the grass ain't greener.
Right.
I don't want to wait around.
By the way, you're still here.
Right. I don't want to wait around to hear this.
Exactly.
We're ready for you.
They.
Right.
It's that they.
Exactly.
I was like, why am I always waiting for they? Who are they? Who are they that have this weird power over my life?
Yes.
It's bizarre.
It's ridiculous.
I heard Marianne Williamson speak once when I was in my early 30s and still trying to break out of soaps or whatever. And she said, everybody comes to LA to be a star in a movie or in a series. What about being the star of your own life? And I felt like a brick hit me on the head.
Yeah, it's
I just went, my life is going by.
Very true.
And I'm letting they decide.
Very true. Very true.
It's still a journey.
Yeah.
But I met my husband on The Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
My son was, he went to work with me every day till he was 3.
Yeah.
He crawled in my dressing room. I never missed a milestone.
There is no better job than a soap opera job.
Well, I'm 63 years old and I'm working as an actress, which is amazing.
But
all
we
the
don't-
people, all the people that started out, where are they?
No. It's,
I
right.
don't hope that doesn't sound prideful, but it's like you kind of realize how good it really is, and you're grateful.
Yeah, but it's a fact. And you don't have to wait in a trailer. You don't have to do it 55,000
Right,
times from this
exactly.
angle, and that angle.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I was on the beach, and it was freezing with the wind. I'm going, why do I want to do this? I mean, I swear to God. And it was my wife produced the movie, and I was like, what am I doing? But it was just my own.
Interesting.
My own.
Yeah.
Of having to be, right?
It is fun. It's fun to go out and do other things, though.
It is.
But it's also nice to know that what you got going is pretty damn good. And
Right.
people work so freaking hard, and everybody's just trying to make a living,
Yes.
and, do their job, and I have nothing but respect for them.
When I created this is, for me, as good as anything. So I'm all cool here.
Yeah.
I'm all cool doing a soap and doing State of Mind, and I'm happy. And now if something comes, now I can say no. I couldn't say no before.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right? I couldn't say
I
no.
know exactly what you mean. Sure.
Now I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit out in the snow. And
Yeah, I know. I don't want to fly there for like a week or two and miss everybody. I know. It's interesting.
All right, I think we've.
How long? What time is it? Is it midnight?
I don't know, but we've been. It's like we just went out on a date, and we're like, it's like midnight. You're right. I want to say this to the audience. I want to put this out there for the audience. EILEEN Davidson came in here. If this were a baseball game, she'd have hit a grand slam.
Huh.
Just because she just got it, just right away. It was like boom, 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 which I love.
Let's just do it.
Yeah, and it was. She's a lot like I am. She's kind of an open book, and she's not afraid to take it to places that, some people are just afraid to take it, but she's not. So.
I have another question.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, go
I'm
ahead.
Not done yet.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not over yet. Maurice.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you had any kind of experience with hypnotism for anxiety?
Okay, let me explain. I went to a hypnotist, and she rubbed me and my wife the wrong way, so we didn't go forward. We were gonna go do it, right? Because I was supposed to get on a plane. But I want to give you something. I'm gonna say it again. You better sponsor me. I was going to New York to do these shows, and it was very important for me. And it's the first time I flew without my wife, because I've gotten off 2 planes. Open the door, and I'm running out. It's embarrassing. Anxiety. So I get on the plane, sit down, and it hits. Freddy Krueger. I call him Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. I have an excessive fear of flying. I've cried.
Oh, you
I've
did?
screamed.
Okay.
I've yelled. I mean, I totally.
So this is going to help you. So,
Well, I saw a hypnotist.
Oh, you did? That helped you? Yeah, I hear it's good too. So I go, oh no, and the exit was right in front of me, so I was going to go, and I didn't. I do what I tell people to do. I grabbed the magazine, I Twitter, the whole thing. I did the breathing. So there's this thing that this company sent me called Comago. It's like an inhaler, like for asthma.
Wow.
Okay. Grab it. You see the lights? Breathe. You see the lights? Breathe. It's supposed to do it for 3 minutes. I did it for about a minute.
It's not CBD or anything like that?
It's got a scent in it, but not CBD. It's got a scent in it. Gone.
Wow.
But not like gone, like just a little bit of it. Gone. And I started crying.
Crazy. Oh, I thought freedom.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to feel that.
Yeah.
And I could go to New York. But I was crying like a baby. People were looking at me like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm more than okay.
Cool.
This stuff, man. And
Could you act on it, or is it something that kind of desensitizes you, or does it do something weird? Like, is
yeah.
it good for all kinds of anxiety?
Oh,
not
it'd be.
just-
I would guess if I was gonna go do a talk show and then I have it would go. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Interesting.
But this anxiety I had on the plane was the terror anxiety, not like
Yeah.
a little bit. This was and Eileen, I've never felt anything go from terror to not.
Yeah. Where do you get it?
Everybody says that to me.
Sign me up. Yeah.
I'll let you. It's called Calm, CALMI, Go.
Okay. Calm I go. Okay.
Calm, yeah.
Interesting.
You got another question?
I think that's about it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was like a therapy session with a friend. And that's the best kind of state of mind. See you later. Damn.
Thank you so much.